Home, Hugh and Donald over there in Murrayfield. So that was something else. I mean, okay, the adrenaline's pumping now because it was an excellent match, but that just feels like a big win.
Yeah, it's a big win for Munster. They'll be very, very pleased. I think, coming off the pre-season, tough away game, first game up, a little bit of lack of confidence, but they were very brave tonight. Showed a lot of confidence going forward, which you wouldn't expect after losing the games, and made a few errors, a few mistakes, but they were very positive. Now I know they were hanging on a little bit there at the end there, but you can't fault their endeavour.
That adds to the sweetness too, in a way, the fact that their defensive capabilities were put under serious cosh in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah,
and
they still need to work on a bit, but it's a great result against a strong Edinburgh side, so they'll be very, very pleased.
Yeah, I mean, not suggesting, of course, Munster the finished article, but lots of positives to take from it, Bernard. And unpredictability in attack too is something that maybe we hadn't seen so much in the last year or two. I had no clue what was going to happen next. Little dinks in midfield, and
yeah, they showed a real ambition to play the space. And Edinburgh, particularly from their own half, when Edinburgh dropped their back three back, they went after that space. And from the wide rucks, they were able to resource, get to midfield, but they also had options to go wide again. Whereas last year, I felt they were a little bit predictable, relied on ball carriers, which maybe they didn't really have to try and get over the gain line, and have much better shape to their attack. And I think they'll only get better as they play more games together. But to get a win like that will really, give the team self-belief and believe in the new coach.
It nearly caught them out a bit there when they got the penalty to go 23-13. They won the kick-off, started passing really deep back into their 22. Keatley kicks it out and they're on the 22. And Edinburgh scored from that phase of play after a couple of more mistakes. So they need to get the balance right of a bit of old Munster stuff, a few pick and goes, getting them all going. But they were impressive now with their, they were brave. They moved the ball wide, as you said.
And
Bernard.
they moved it quickly. I mean, they upped the tempo. They were like Edinburgh were the team that were shifting the ball quickly for the first 55 minutes. Then Munster suddenly found a little bit of pace.
They did, and what they have now with Downey is a guy who's ability to go to very direct, to get over the gain line, or get his hands free. And we saw Luke O'D running off him. Lualawa can make space in small areas. And maybe the last couple of seasons, until they had Tupuki, they've lacked that little bit of creativity in the midfield. And I think they have it now, so they can be very, very direct or play a little bit wider.
Well, it's true, because Munster supporters were saying, oh, here we have two big fellas crashing up the middle, it's the same old, but it's there's a more subtlety. Judging on tonight, we can't kind of make a whole season out of one performance, but there seems to be a bit more subtlety to that midfield.
Look, it's a lot better. Downey was very strong, very impressive, and if you have a guy that big running forward, doing the simple thing well, getting quick possession, he's setting up a good gain line for you. And if he can get those offloads, guys run off him. For Luke O'D's try, great carry again by Downey, and he was very impressive. With great anticipation from O'D. They have options. Lualawa is a great footballer, so they need someone coming into that channel outside him.
Let's look at that try, the O'D try.
Yeah, it's simple stuff. Downey really strong, but Luke O'D is there, and this guy, as Donald said in commentary, is exceptional pace. He's a really, really excellent talent.
Full of buzz and confidence.
Absolutely. He's getting that confidence now, and every time he's one of those players that has that bit of X factor. See the leg speed there, he gets through there, and great pace.
But it's smart rugby too, it's intelligent lines from that kind of the physical presence that Downey, but that's no good unless there's intelligent lines to unpick defences off.
Yeah, a couple of years ago it was all about a set piece. Now it's actually the launch from the set piece. Where are you after that first phase? And even if Downey didn't get his hands free there, they were over the gain line. It was easy for the forwards to come around the corner. But what Luke O'D showed is very intelligent. He's trailing the guys who can get their hands free, and he's there for that offload. And it'll only happen 1 in 10. But when it does happen, it's going to be try time.
The big positive there is, missing so many guys, going away to Edinburgh with all their Scottish internationals. There's guys there will gain massive confidence from this. It'll give the whole squad a lift. Penny will be delighted, Foley, Mannix, Niall O'Donovan, all these guys, it'll give the squad a lift. It was negative last week. Without getting too carried away, it's the first game, and we know they have frailties, but at least they've improved since last week. They've something to build on now.
And you know what? It was nice to watch as well.
Yeah, it was a good game. It was entertaining.
The end of the season, no one cares about if there's trophies there, but it was entertaining stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the players want to play that kind of rugby, and they're enjoying the environment that these coaches are giving them. But as I said, it's massive to get a win first up, particularly away from home. It just helps everything bed in and everyone believe in what the project that Rob Petty's building. You
mentioned Mannix there. I mean, you know from his French pedigree, what's the story?
Just, a lot of players. Racing Metro obviously have a massive budget, massive amount of players. There was trouble last year with Berbizier. The players tried to get him sacked. Chabal ended up leaving. Nale left. But they wanted Mannix. He was a guy they rated as a coach, but the politics of the whole situation, he was let go because the president was friends with Berbizier and stuff like that. Typical French rugby. But he's a guy who's talent. And
are you suggesting there's old pals acts in France as well?
Could be. But he's a guy who's got talent. And you can see some of the first strike phases the backs were trying things, and that's what you want to watch.
Okay, and then of course we got the customary nervous period, the sweaty period in the last 10 minutes when Visser completed a hat-trick. I mean, his celebrations were like he'd won the match, but I suppose you don't get 3 tries in a game every week.
He's a super player, and it came from those couple of mistakes again, but, you know, Denton, little bit of a gap there, and, you know, Visser there, when you give him that space, it's an easy try for him. He usually goes half the length of the field, but it's just that pressure coming on, and DeLuca goes through, and question of a forward pass, but Visser is there again.
It looked all right,
and it was a little bit naive out of Munster. As I said a minute ago, they probably had a chance to clear their lines, go back, slow the game down a little bit, do the simple stuff well, and they nearly caught him out in the end.
I just think in a couple of weeks' time, defensively, Munster would have dealt with that easily. There was too much space between Howlett and Billy Holland, and also they didn't get off the line quick enough. They're 4 or 5 yards from their own line. String stayed out. The full-back was too late to close. They should have just shut that down. Leave Visser on his own, just shut the ball
down. But they
down.
are good, Edinburgh, with ball in hand, and you have to give them credit tonight. That's why it was an entertaining game. Both teams threw the ball around. Edinburgh love that open style, and they have good attacking players when they get the ball to Visser. As we said, he's 3 tries, and you know, he looked dangerous every time.
Yeah. So in terms of the new approach, I mean, did you pick anything else out? Like, it was everybody's trying to get their head around what kind of rugby we'll be getting from Rob Penny.
It was just a strategy in terms of how they actually mapped the field. Here we see a scrum on the right hand side. As I said, Edinburgh dropped their winger back, it's 3 up, and they go for that space and they attack it. Now, a lot of teams find it hard to get off the touchline, and a lot of teams Edinburgh have been comfortable enough. They wouldn't have liked to give up so much ground, but they've been comfortable enough from here. But this year, what is different is long past the 10, and then the forwards are looking to make a play. Now, it goes forward on that occasion, but if you look wide on the screen, Munster have got attacking shape on the right hand and left, and it's been able to get for midfield rooks to be able to attack, because it's very hard to get good line speed for the defence from midfield rooks. Again here, they go up the middle, get a good gain line. Keith's option is to kick. It's not a great kick, but you're asking questions of the defence.
Right.
You're looking basically to find a corner, and when you have guys like Earl, Zebo, Howlett, when you've got pace, there's opportunities there.
Well, it would seem to me, again, like, and fill us in on this, but from an Edinburgh perspective, there was possible attack coming from 4 or 5 different parts of the pitch, like, which kept them guessing.
Yeah, and they probably expected Munster to be a bit more traditional, take the ball down. I think only once in the game they tried to maul the ball. Everything was off the top. They were looking at Downey, balls out the back. They did make those errors, but they kept Edinburgh thinking, as you said, little dinks in over the back. And on Bernard's point there, when Munster moved, traditionally they would have just kicked it downfield there from that scrum, whereas they got over the Edinburgh halfway line with a ruck in possession still. So they made a great gain line. Okay, it was a forward pass, but their intention was to go wide again. You can analyse it all you want. It's good, simple rugby, effective. You need to be on the ball at the breakdown, be really effective there, but that's what they're trying to do.
But it's the dream ticket, like, theoretically. I mean, if you can match that kind of subtlety with the traditional Munster strengths that we've been boring ourselves with talking about for years.
The shift in strategy, I think the basis of it is that basically Munster, the last couple of seasons, attacked very narrow, which means the defence can be narrow, so it's about having big ball carriers to break the gain line. Now, with more width, defence will be a little bit wider, and when you have Paul O'Connell, you have CJ Stander, you have Niall Ronan and guys like that coming into the team, it's going to be easier to make offensive carries.
All right, okay, thanks for that. That's for now.